Hi there, it's Mrs. McGee, and today is Wednesday, the 2nd, and we are working again on our travel brochure. Today we are going to work on yesterday's mystery. So once I got home and had a moment to open up the document again, exactly how I was supposed to teach you totally came to me. So today I'm ready to teach you what I tried to teach you yesterday. So here we go. Your yesterday, we did this. So you should have your temperature. You should have the word hotel kind of stand out. You can change colors. I just didn't because I was teaching the name of your hotel, how much it cost, and all the amenities and an image. Now, keep in mind, I wrote the exact same thing and took the exact same picture because I was just trying to do it quickly. You should have two totally different hotels here. All right, today we're working here. You're going to go to image, but we are not doing, insert, but not image. It's actually a drawing from Drive. So I'll click there, and right there are all of my images that I have in Google Drive. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one because I want to show you something that you might experience. You might not, but you might. It should come up with a little pop up here that says link to source. You want it to be linked to the source. Great reasons for it. We'll get into it later. Go ahead and click insert and your picture will show up. So here's the deal. Look how tiny my image is. I need it to take up that whole column, but I don't want to get too carried away with stretching it out just yet. But I do want to stretch it out some. So when I click on it to stretch, one of the things you're going to notice is this link. That's important. And this down arrow, also important. But for right now, we're going to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to grab one of these handles, and I actually have to pull this guy off the page. And it's okay that I'm doing that because I'm trying to make it wider. So what you'll notice is it's still not wide enough and it's still not tall enough. But for right now, I'm going to stop. So I'm going to click outside of this, and then you'll see my mouse is blinking and it is not inside the image, but it is still inside the column. So from here, I'm going to find my paint bucket. Mine's hiding behind the three more buttons. Here's mine. I want to find a complementary color, something that'll go with this that won't look too odd. So I'm going to try purple. And to me, that's super bright and a little too much. So I'm going to click on this again. I'm going to try a lighter purple. I don't like that one either. So I might come up here and then come to custom. And then I can move this guy around. I have all this range. So I might go to something maybe here. Click OK. Let's pretend I love this. So now that I have a background, I'm gonna decide, how do I feel about the typing and my background? I kind of feel like it's a little bit hard to read where it says welcome to Disney World. So I want to change that. So you'll notice I've clicked inside the picture box again because I have this blue square around it. I'm going to click on the down arrow and I'm going to ask it to open the source. It used to be maybe a couple months ago that you just double clicked on the picture and it automatically opened the source. So that might be what happens for you. For me though, I have to click on the down arrow, click open source. And what it's going to do is open up my Google Drive, my drawing. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to highlight it. I don't know what's happening right now. Get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to come over and I'm going to change my font color. What if I tried for something more of this icy bluish green? So maybe something like this. I'm going to click and be like, yeah, that looks decent. So I'm going to come back into my brochure and right here I have an update and it go ahead and it automatically changes the color. So if that's the color I'm going to use for my writing, then the purple looks crazy. So I'm going to click on the purple. And this is where you just have to start clicking to get it outside of that picture. I'm going to click on the three dots again, back to my paint bucket, and I'm going to change it to this. Let's see if I can get something a little bit darker. I like that. So, your job is before you get that picture too big, find a color that you think pops for background and pops for the title. And you might just have to, let's say I still don't like it. If I click here, see, here's my chain, here's my options again, go back to open source, it'll pop me into this. And then when I make any changes, when I come back here, I'll get the update option. Okay, but let's say I've settled. I like my font, I like my font type, a color. I think it all looks amazing. So now I need to make this picture bigger. A lot of you are going to have this problem. You are going to have to click and hold and drag it off the page. And I still have this big gap here and this little tiny gap here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going to drag it out. And you see how it moved over here a little bit more? If you watch that side, and that looks pretty good. Actually, it looks like a tiny bit too much. So you want this blue and this blue to be fairly even. So now my width is right, my length is not. So I'm going to click on this bottom box right here, and I'm going to hold my mouse down and drag, and I'm going to have to scroll to see it. Whoopsie. And I'm going to go down, and there you go. So that is my guy. I'm still on one page. If I were to drag this picture a little too far, look what happens. It pops to the next page. So when that happens, you know to come all the way down and make your picture a little bit shorter, and then it'll go back to its right page. So your goal today, I'm going to show you one more thing. If I try to move up because I have a pretty big gap right here, it doesn't really let me. And if I go too far, it just disappears. It's down here again. So I can just hit the undo button and that'll fix that as well. So your mission today is to find a color that you like in the background, a font, and everything's complementary. So one of the reasons why I changed it from the purples to the blues is because my hotels had so much blue in them. I thought it looked more matchy than the purple did. So when I click outside of that, this is what I have so far. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shrink my screen a little bit so you can see one whole page. And that's where you should be at the end of today. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.